Believe it or not, this guy actually has friends.
Nice.
This is Scotty G and Friends on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on back, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, I know this is going to break every radio rule known to man, but I'm going to allow you to go a little Ron McBride, the late Lavelle Edwards. I'm going to let you try this spud nut live on the air. That's usually a big no-no, is to eat on the air, but the audience needs you to experience this for the first time.
Do I need to talk like Mac too?
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Okay, this is a really good spud nut.
There's a little bit of Rick Majerus in that.
I know, I get him in there. It's in the brain. Oh, my goodness.
I know, right?
The crunch.
I know. It's incredible.
Well, the problem is they brought me ice cream and a spud nut before the main dish.
That's all right. You'll
like
have room.
That. I was a Cubs fan.
The ice cream will just kind of work through the cracks, and you'll be fine. But that's the thing. Like, you get the big spud nut, and you got like it's the shape of a donut where it's got the hole in it, where they're like, well, you still deserve what was in the middle of it, so you get the donut and the donut hole on the top of it.
I need to practice my Hans commentary on food, like how he'd go, the crunch, just the right amount of butter, the glaze.
Yeah, it's the moans in between it too. The real guttural reaction. All right, joining us now, is a big part of the Utah Jazz organization, helping out on the broadcast side as well. And, of course, you know him and remember him as a longtime member of the Utah Jazz, CJ Miles. CJ, how are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
CJ, Timmy, how are you, man? I appreciate you jumping on short notice.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Had the opportunity to do a full pregame with CJ and got to know him pretty well a couple weeks ago. So it's great to have you on. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, I guess, the first and foremost, the big news. Jaren Jackson Jr., a couple days now, but what's your thoughts on him coming to Salt Lake City and the fit?
I think it's a great trade, honestly. Like, obviously, you hate to see guys go. Like, especially for me, seeing Walt go in that trade, I thought there was a lot of promise for him, but I think it's also going to be good for him on the other side. But with Jaren, just he checks a lot of boxes, right? Like, obviously add some more length, add some versatility, and spread the floor some. Great shot blocker. He's a tremendous talent. Fits the age group that they're in, right? And fits the trajectory that we thought this team would be on the next couple of years, and they showcased it by making this trade.
How much of a statement is that this long rebuild process might have an end date to it? That, like, finally you can really focus on winning games? Because I don't know if you had the interaction on Twitter with a lot of fans, but there's a lot of celebration going on with the feeling like, okay, finally we can get back to business.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things you look at with it is it also is a testament to the work of the coaching staff and the players that allows them to make this move, to see just the expedition of the guys and their talent, right? Seeing guys get better, seeing Keontae's jump, seeing the guys off the bench getting better, even seeing Laurie when he's been healthy, being all-star here, doing these different things, and just being able to see pieces clearly is what allows them to be able to go make that trade. So it's a big, big congratulations to, like, the player development and the guys being willing to work on themselves.
CJ, as we talked while you were in studio, and I think this is pretty widely known, but you've got a really great and unique relationship with Keontae George and have had his whole life. Would you kind of just go through this jump from your eyes like you did that night for those that didn't hear it, and just what Keontae's had to do for this to be a reality?
I think the biggest thing is just seeing his growth mentally, right? Like, it lets you know more about what type of person and young man he is in becoming, right? Because you see a lot of talented, skillful guys come into this league. And over the past few years, with the injection of a lot of younger players, guys with the opportunity to become great players in this league and just not being able to put the pieces together. So I think him really having a vision of who he is and who he wants to be is the main part of this. And then allowing the bumps and bruises to be turned into wisdom and not weight on his shoulders and worry on his shoulders. He took every hit and everything into his summers and broke them down and turned things that were deemed as weaknesses into strengths, and started to see how defenses played him, and started to listen to what Will wanted from him, and started to see how his body language was affecting his game and the people around him, and all these different things. And you just see a conscious effort of making those things strengths, because if you want to be the leader of a team and a star player in this league in a long time, you have to take the hints. You have to take the commentary and the coaching the hard way. Like, a lot of guys come in now because they're such big stars their whole lives, they aren't able to take that readjustment period that it takes to become one at another level.
And just so everybody knows, you played high school basketball at Skyline in Dallas with Keontae's father, correct?
Yes, I went. So his mom and dad both went to Skyline High School, played basketball. So I'm friends with both of them. And me and his dad played together. And his dad went on to have a decent college career and play overseas for a long time.
Awesome. And, of course, Skyline High School, home of L.J., Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grandma.
Right. I didn't know that.
And Michael Johnson. And Michael Johnson.
Wow.
Yes.
And C.J. Miles,
And
who is
C.J. Miles.
is not
Absolutely.
just a great basketball guy, but one hell of a photographer. You got to check out his stuff. Yeah, I've been impressed, C.J. I've been watching, man.
Thank you so much.
You know, CJ, I want to go back and pretend for a moment that you're a senior at Skyline High School, but it's the current landscape of college athletics. Would you have gone to Texas for a year?
Yeah. And I don't even say that because of the NIL situation and stuff like that. I just say that because of just knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just I'm not saying I regret anything, but I know what I could have benefited from it. And I know what that year would do for me as just a human being, right? Like, in preparation for going to what I was going to. But yes. And then because of the NIL stuff, also, I would definitely go.
You would have a little more quid, man.
Yeah. I definitely would
you
go.
ain't hurting. I know that, but you'd have just a little more.
But just the landscape of it, and it allows you to build a certain type of equity also, right? Like, and learn the landscape of making deals and doing certain things and kind of set your trajectory. Like, coming in past years, like, you're kind of trying to figure out what things align with you. And a lot of times when you're young in your career, you do things just because they're paying you. When you're coming up through NIL, you're able to kind of like map out things that align with your personality, and people start to get to know you, and you can align with certain brands that get calls from other brands and things like that. You don't have to make as many decisions just off of, let me make as much money as fast as I can because I don't know how long this will last.
It's a great point. C.J. Miles joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. CJ, when you look at this team and you look at the talent level on this team, throw in Jaren Jackson, and let's just assume Walker Kessler is back next year, and then Ace Bailey continues his development, and then you throw in, hopefully a top 5 draft pick. Just how good could the Jazz be next year? Not long term, but just next year.
I think we see a tremendous jump, and I think they're on a trajectory that we see great teams that build from the ground up go through, right? Like, next year, you start to insert expectation. And there's going to be I know we're going to get excited, and there's going to be some things that we feel like they should be able to do because of the talent level that they're still not going to be able to do because there's going to be an adjustment in the mindset and approach to the game. Because there's a lot of things from the last couple of years that you have to kind of like let happen because you're trying to get guys experience. So now we're going to have to address a lot of bad habits that we used to let go. Like, I used to leave a guy in for not doing something 2 times. Now I got to yank him because I got to show him the importance of not being on the nail or not being over in help side or not communicating on the screen or a bad shot. I have to, like, heighten his senses to what's good and bad now because down the stretch, that's what's going to make the difference in winning now that we have the talent. Because everybody in the league has talent. Now it's the mental side that's going to change. The conditioning is going to change. And we have to build that up next. But they're going to be so great. There's so much length. I got to think about the different types of lineups because you can play Keontae off the ball with Isaiah, or you can play Keontae with Ace at the 2, Laurie, Kessler, and Jaren. Now you have this big lineup. You have all these different things you can play with now and these pieces, and we don't even know who the pick's going to be.
Yeah, that's the comment I made after the move is that the thing I see watching, and I was a college coach, so I watched college, most of my life and watched the NBA recreationally. But now over the last 6 years, I've literally watched 82 games every single season. You see the trends, you see what's going on. But with what the Jazz have, in your opinion and mine, they can play matchup bingo all night long against rosters that aren't constructed right, and they're going to try to put a 6'4" dude on Lowry, or and that's the one thing Will's shown me in the time that I've watched. He knows how to attack the weak link on the court and does it often.
Yeah, he's a student of the game, obviously from that pop tree. All those guys are, right?
Yeah.
But I think the roster that's built, to your point, they're building something capable of any storm. And that's been the biggest key with the league now, is the versatility. And there's not a lack of players that are versatile now also that you can pick from. There's plenty of 6'8", 6'9" guys that can play different things and do different things, and that's what's coming about. And they're putting the right guys together, and it's been great to watch.
Do you ever look at the league right now and think to yourself, man, if I was 25 years old in the league,
all the time, he's just going to finish it
all the time. All the time, I was too early. Too early. Even when I first came in the league, because we were part of that wave of even the Jazz changing into playing faster and doing different things, right? Just the way that I was raised up playing basketball, and the creativity that came from just kind of the freedom. There was still a lot of systems in the league at that time, and that was this adjustment to that, especially when you're a high school kid coming up who's been able to do whatever you want on the floor, not in a bad way, but just be able to be creative because you've been given that, and everybody puts you on a leash, right? And you're just man. And then they start shooting threes because you got guys. I told this the other day. When I was in Toronto, there were games I'd check in the game, and the assistant coach was you got to get 10 threes up tonight.
Yeah.
Me individually. We were lucky if we shot 18 threes as a team.
Absolutely. I've gone back and looked at the box score. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at your career stats, and your first, I would say, 3-4 years in the league, the highest three attempts per game was 2009, 2010, where you were able to get 3 attempts per game. But then, you mentioned in Indiana, and then later on in Toronto, you're 6.5, 7, because
and I arguably probably should have shot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the crazy part, CJ, is there nowadays in 3 minutes before the first time out, there's 4 guys on the court that are squeezed off 3. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The pace.
And we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
That's why no games are really out of reach anymore, because 3 possessions is a 10-point run.
Exactly.
If you do it the right way, and it's happening so fast. So, we can get 3 possessions. We can score 9 or 12 points in a minute and a half, if that, sometimes.
By the way, you have any good Jerry Sloan stories? I can't imagine some of this stuff.
Hey, I was just going to ask you, CJ. tell the story you told me, because I thought that was really just when he put you in the game and got a little resistance.
About him being fair. So, I always tell people, he's the fairest coach that I ever had. And there's no offense to any of the coaches. I love Bogle. I love Mike Brown. I love Case. I love them all. But he was the first one. I'll say the first one that I saw that worked this way. But there was a time when I was young, and I was doing everything that they asked me to do. I was working my tail off in practice, having good practice, doing the extra work, doing all these things. And we didn't have the D-League. The G-League wasn't really what it was. We didn't really have a lot of player development. So there weren't a lot of ways that I could really continue to develop without playing. And we go to Houston. And it's one of the first times my family can really come to a game, and I'm actually dressing out. I'm on the actual active roster and all these things. And I remember the game's going on, and Jerry and Phil are talking. Phil did all the subs, and Jerry and Phil kind of get into a little tiff. And Jerry's I hear Jerry scream out, he deserves to play. And he puts me in the game. And he fought for me to get in the game, even breaking rotation. And then he ran the first 3 plays that I was in the game through me. He put me at point to handle it one time, and he did something else. I didn't play a lot, but just the fact that he went out of his way to do that, and he gave his tickets for my parents to sit closer for it, the whole 9, everything he did for me that night, is one of the things that really sticks in my mind, of just him showing that he saw me, right? And he was doing everything he could with what we had at that time as far as the way things were done, right? And he's greatly appreciated. He's one of my favorites.
A lot of people think that Jerry was the bad cop and Phil was the good cop. Sometimes that was switched. That Jerry was the good cop and Phil was the bad cop. Yeah.
But they definitely switched, because there's a story. I think I told him the story about Phil too. Phil, I came out of the game from guarding Rip Hamilton back when he was in Detroit one time. And I come out, and Rip is like just giving me the business because he's just running me to death, right? And I come to the bench exhausted, like I'm head down, I'm pissed, right? Like, and he comes over, and he's laughing at me, like literally hysterically. He sits beside me, and I look at him, I'm like, what's the deal? This is like the end of the first quarter, and he goes, "You look like Rip trying to guard Jeff Hornacek when Jeff was doing the same thing." And I was like, that's funny and all, but tell me how to stop him. Like, don't laugh at me, right? Like, tell me something.
Oh, man. Hey, who in the league right now would you pay actual money for to watch that you're like, okay, I need to watch this guy?
And Edwards.
Okay.
Love him. I love KD. I love to watch KD play basketball. But Ant Edwards, KD, I love Shea. I love watching Oklahoma City play because they just play so hard and unapologetic, right? They don't care if they fouled you. Like, they don't care.
That's exactly
they don't
right.
change it. They don't change it if they fouled you either. It's like, well, we know we got away with it, or we should have got, or we're just going to play the same way. Wemby, obviously. And I'm down here in San Antonio, so I've done that multiple times already. Who else?
Jokic.
Speaking of Jokic, and then speaking of also on KD's team, the twin, I always mix their names up.
Thompson.
Which one is in?
Yeah.
Thompson.
It's Amen there.
I love him.
Yeah.
Amen, yes, I love him. He's like to me, he's Ron Artest times 3.
Yes.
Like, and I mean the Ron Artest that I met when I first got in the league. That was scoring, and that was the Indiana Ron Artest, not the one
not
later
Meta
that
World
was with
Peace.
Kobe. Yeah, not that one. Yeah, Sacramento, Indiana, that Ron Artest.
All right, so you've forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever know. So I need you to help. I need you to explain this one to me. Harden seems like he's going to take the ball. Donovan Mitchell needs to have the ball in his hands. It seems like that's going to be a little bit less in Cleveland. Do you think Cleveland got better with that trade?
I don't know. That one's tricky. But I do know that James has shown us in a real point guard role that he can do it and he has no problem doing it. I think he does add some different things than Darius Garland. And I think, they're different bodies, different experiences, right? But I will take James in the pick and roll over a lot of people in the league, though. And
the problem's going to be the other end, bro.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nobody to guard.
So with the two bigs they have offensively in the pick and rolls with him, he's going to have a field day. But like you said, but that's the same thing. I'm no shot to anybody, but Darius Garland wasn't really guarding.
No, he wasn't. No.
So if it could be better for them.
True.
Because you get a really prolific, the type of things that James is going to do. Not that Darius can't, but there's some added things that James has and has proven to have that Darius hasn't had the chance to yet.
You know what's interesting? I got to imagine when you go down and you're watching a shoot-around or you're watching, pregame warm-ups, and back in the day, it was Jerry, it was Phil, and then, a couple other assistants, and that was it. Now it seems like there's an assistant coach and trainer for each individual player. Do you kind of giggle a little bit when you see that? Yeah,
that we talked about that too last time I was up in Utah. Just like there's no coincidence in the guys being so skilled now.
Right.
They've had trainers since they were young, and now then all the player development in the league, right? It's just about translating and understanding where to put the skill. Now everybody's got so much skill they don't know what to do with it. So they get in the game and they try to be everything. And a lot of guys aren't meant to be everything. But they work on everything, and sometimes you kind of got to be disciplined in the box a little bit before you get to expand. So we can get you these opportunities that expand your minutes to get to that. But, yeah, there's so much, and it's a great thing to see, but it's now guys get in the game and some of them don't know how to reel it in.
CJ, we got to do this more often, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Hey, and follow CJ if you don't on Twitter because you can see his awesome. He just posted 19 hours ago some cool pictures of Texas high school basketball at Moss Fresco. And it's that on
everything. Yeah, Moss Fresco on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere you look in, you'll find it that way. I appreciate the shout out.
The theme of the day has been authenticity, and you fit that bill. Awesome to have you on. Thanks so much on short notice for coming, and we'll talk soon.
For sure. Yes, sir. I'll see you soon. I'm back up there soon.
Let's do it.
Just give me a warning so I know not to get a,
right.
I got you.
I got you. All right.
See you, man. CJ Miles, I just like we talked about with Tommy Lloyd right out of the gate, the thing I've really enjoyed about my journey through 20-something years in sport is the people. Got down here to Bar W Beef today, and one of the first things I asked Bart about were some of the people I know in Nephi. And just so y'all know, the Lacombe name, the Lacombe coaching name in Nephi is a thing. My uncle Gary Lacombe coached at Juab High School. So I don't know if some of these people are scarred from him that are walking by, but if so, I apologize.
That seems to be about that generation there.
Yeah, I know, and I wondered if there was. I thought I saw a head pull like you were that psycho's nephew. No.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
It is your good, it is your bad, it is your ugly right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Tim Lacombe, the legend, hanging out with me. I'm Scott Gerard. Hope you're all having a tremendous day. By the way, let's start with the good. NFL honors last night. How about former Aggie Bobby Wagner named the NFL Man of the Year? The Walter Payton Man of the Year that goes to the player that's meant the most to the community and on the field. It's just like it's the one of, outside of maybe Player of the Year, probably the most prestigious individual honor you can get.
And what a speech.
Oh, I know, right?
What a speech. Honored his mother. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But always been a big fan of him as a player, but almost more as a person. He just has always been that guy.
And by the way, speaking of Bobby Wagner's speeches, he will be the commencement speaker at Utah State coming up this spring.
You were last year, right?
No. I can't even like there is
score.
There's no way they would let me even back into that room. Like the arena and the stadium they're cool with. Like you can be there, but anything academic related, no. You got to get away from there.
I would love to just go up and put your stuff down. People get themselves organized, but just take 20 minutes with a lot of throat clears.
Yeah. All right, is this thing on?
That'd be very authoritative.
Yeah. There's your good. But it's just a great representative of Utah. I remember this was a guy that he was recruited by, and Lloyd will remember this, and you probably remember this as well. This was the dark years of Utah State football. Brent Guy recruited Bobby Wagner, and then he got fired, and then some guy named Gary Anderson came in and took over, and he had Robert Turbin and Bobby Wagner, and both those guys end up getting drafted the same year by the Seahawks, and it was off to the races ever since.
Of all the people I know in the state, I've never met Gary Anderson.
Are you serious?
Mm-mm. And I've heard everybody would be like, oh, you guys would get along.
Oh, yeah. You and Gary get along really well.
So anyhow, you might need to make that happen.
I will make.
I've heard great things about the dude.
Gary is the best. I mean, he yells at me if I don't stay at his house in Logan on a snowy night after a basketball game. Like, he is literally one of the nicest people. Although, when he talks to you, it's in a very aggressive way. And so you have to, sort through. But he is one of the most generous people you'll ever meet.
Like aggressive, like in your face or what?
Why
Curse?
Why the bleep didn't you bleep and stay in my bleeping house? No, I'm joking. He's
not like that. Not like that. But was that our guy back?
Yeah, that was Lloyd.
He was my classmate. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
How often did he skip class, by the way?
No, that dude was valiant.
Never.
Never.
Really?
Me?
Wow.
It was me, actually, about 3 times a week and say, Lloyd, can I get your notes?
But Lloyd was Mr. Automatic, huh?
But, of course, even though I was a little reticent to be part of the group, they made me the star of the show.
Oh,
I had to be the guy that knocked on doors looking for people to exterminate.
Well, you
it
were
was a very
little
dark
older.
film.
A little older, it felt right.
Whoa, Lloyd.
That was a little low for a second
was.
day, Lloyd. What are we doing?
Welcome to the show today.
Welcome to the family. All right, there's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
So, speaking of the NFL honors last night, Tiffany Haddish announcing the Coach of the Year. It was Mike Vrabel, well-deserved, taking over the Patriots, turning him into a 4-win team to a 13-win team and on the cusp of a Super Bowl title. But let's just say that he may not be a household name in her home.
The 2025 AP Coach of the Year is Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is busy preparing for the Super Bowl.
Oh, Verbal.
Mike Verbal.
Like, aren't you going to check that?
2025
Wasn't that the
AP
name of the
Coach
dude in
of the Year is
Unusual Suspects? Or the
Mike
usual Verbal
Vrabel.
Kent? Verbal.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was
Wow.
Verbal. You're right.
Was she all over that or what?
Yeah, and then she doubles down on it. Mike Verbal. If you're even remotely confused, like, yes, he is taking over the Patriots, and they're going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Oh, man.
What do you get? What do you get? The hard R, Garrard.
I get that
when
a lot.
people walk
Yeah.
around the corner for an appointment.
Yeah.
Scott Garrard.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I understand that. It's no big deal.
I
And
get-
I'll say Gerard. But
I get Lackham.
I bet you've dealt with
I
it.
get Lackham, and I get Lancome. I'd love to be a Lancome. I'd have way more.
Well, that's what Siri says when you say ask Siri to call Tim. It goes calling Tim Lackham.
Really?
Yes.
Well, when I say call Lloyd Cole, it says, "Oh, that angry guy."
Yeah. Calling Super Mad Jerk.
Wow, that was
Pronto.
That was,
Hey, if you're coming at us, we're coming right back at you. We just got food in our bellies.
Oh, all right. There you go. Good, the bad, the ugly. Remember, this segment brought to you in part by University of Utah Health. Go to uofuhealth.org for you for life. All right. In the 2 o'clock hour, again, we will have a chance to go to the Super Bowl and catch up with Jeremiah Jensen. He will join us coming up at 2:05 from Santa Clara. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Scotty G and Friends on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We are live here at Bar Dub Grill, soon to be Bar W Steakhouse. It'll all be housed in the same building. And by the way, you want to talk about how important the priority in which they look at everything here. It's even the quality of the building that they built.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, this looks like an incredible farmhouse, and then you got a silo that's built right into the wall. I mean, it's crazy what they've done here.
They made it definitely homey too. Like that steakhouse is going to be. I guarantee you, that's going to be a destination location for so many people.
Yeah. So what you may have missed right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, as you mentioned earlier, as we talked about earlier in the show. Jazz get some opportunities last night on the road against Atlanta. Another 48-minute performance by Isaiah Collier. And, I understand Keontae has had himself a great year. I really like the development of Isaiah Collier that we've seen.
I have too. I was a fan of him early because the one thing you look for with players is guys that can do something at an elite level.
Yeah.
And it was very telling even in Summer League, his ability to get to his spot on the floor and find guys. And, he's taken another step. I mean, he had his career high last night. The coolest part about last night, it was home. The night before, he had his jersey retired at Wheeler High School in Atlanta. And then to be able to go play in Atlanta against the Hawks, get your, play 48 minutes, get your career high in points. And much like I said, he's getting to a spot and finding the right pass. He's now getting to his spot, and he did time after time last night against a smaller C.J. McCollum. They attacked that mismatch. He got it right there in the sweet spot, and he's able to really score the basketball at a high level last night. So, there's a lot of those stories, though, Scotty, like a lot of guys making moves.
Is there a certain point where a guy is what he is as a shooter? I mean, can you really improve the shooting ability of a guy at Isaiah Collier's age?
I think you can get a little bit better. I mean, I think I watched his college film, and I didn't think there was any hope.
Yeah.
And he's actually, really, it's when do you shoot him? You obviously get spots where the way that defense is guarding you, you have to take the shot. You have to put it on the glass, or otherwise it's going to get awkward. And so I think I wouldn't put anything past this Jazz crew, this development crew, because as I said, I go in there and watch them, and it's a tightly run thing, and they've got each guy on a certain protocol or program, and I'm bullish on Isaiah Collier, but I'm also I think there's a little bit of improvement left in his shot. I do.
And it's just, you always hear coaches say, well, back in the day, I used to hear this a lot, where it's like you get to a certain age and that shot is what it is. And now I'm starting to hear other coaches say, no, there's some things we can work on. There's some things we can do to get better. And so that makes me feel like, okay, you know what, in the right kind of time in the gym and everything else, that if that level comes up, then watch out for him.
Well, technology's changed so much. And I think at one point maybe that was the case, because you really only worked with certain people, right? The world's so big now. You can get access to people via, podcast. There's lots of different things you can do to dig into the mechanics of your shot, and then there's all sorts of people you can work with. So I think you can mechanically change your shot, but just like anything, it's got to be a mindset change.
All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.